The second reason as to why I need Quranic guidance is because of the type of world we live in. There are so many challenges left and right. Our youth, do they know Quran? Our fathers, our mothers, our uncles, do they know Quran? Quran is rich. Quran is powerful. Quran is beyond my time and your time. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala reveals everything in the Holy Quran. I need that guidance on a second level because I'm exposed to different challenges in life. So I need something to hold my hand. And the best thing to hold my hand is Quran. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الذين ذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا صل على محمد. يقول الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. For the purification of our hearts and hastening of the reappearance of our beloved Imam with the loudest of our voices, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Once again, my dear brothers and sisters, lovers and the followers of Ahlul Bayt, we thank Allah for gracing us with tonight to continue with our discussions under the theme in the realm of the Holy Quran. First night, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, we discussed the relationship between the Holy Quran and the holy month of Ramadan. And the last night, we looked at the topic of abandoning the Holy Quran and how our beloved Prophet will complain to Allah on the day of Qiyamah on the way and manner his ummah abandoned the Holy Quran. And towards the end last night, we encourage ourselves, brothers and sisters, to try as much as we can to build relationship with the Holy Quran. The verse I've just quoted for tonight is a very powerful verse. It's a verse in the form of a question. Quran 54, verse number 17, Surah Al-Qamar. Allah says, وَلَكَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. He said, indeed, we made this Quran easy for remembrance. Is there anyone who will remember? So is Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala telling us who is the main author of the Holy Quran. That Quran is easy to remember. Quran is not difficult. So therefore, when I find myself not attached to Quran, or when our communities are not attached to Quran, the only conclusion is that I or the community have abandoned Quran. And as I said, this series of discussions, my aim is to truly instill the love of the Holy Quran in our hearts, so that we all try in our busy schedules to introduce Quran to our lives, beginning with the holy month of Ramadan, so that it continues, inshallah. Some of us, we hold unto Ahlul Bayt, rightly so, but at the expense of the Holy Quran. And there are some out there who hold unto the Holy Quran at the expense of the Ahlul Bayt. Whereas it's supposed to be the two together. None can claim to be a true Shia with just holding unto Ahlul Bayt without holding unto Quran. And so the topic of tonight, very interesting one, is looking at our duties or responsibilities, if you like, towards the Holy Quran. This Quran sent down to us by Allah. We have duties or responsibilities towards it. Failing under any circumstance to adhere to those duties and responsibilities, one will easily be regarded as abandoning the Holy Quran. And the last thing you want is for the Holy Prophet to complain about you on the day of Qiyamah. And we discussed the verse last night. Our examination of tonight is for the following interesting stages. The first stage, we will ask ourselves a question. What is active recitation? Because not every form of recitation is an active one. So we'll discuss active recitation of the Holy Quran. Second stage of the examination, because active recitation is a responsibility we have towards Quran. Second responsibility, mu'mineen and mu'minat, kindly pay attention, is paying unconditional attention to the Holy Quran. Meaning what? Making Quran the topmost priority in our lives. Quran cannot be secondary. If Quran is secondary in your life or my life, then be ready for the complaint of the Holy Prophet. Any Muslim who spend at least a week without going through Quran has abandoned Quran. It's important we discuss these topics. These are the basic teachings of Islam. If we don't get this right, then any other thing is neither here nor there. There are Muslims who will spend a month, a year, without opening the Quran. And some of those Muslims claim we love Ahlul Bayt. Inshallah, we'll discuss the relationship of Ahlul Bayt with the Quran and we'll see more, inshallah. So that's the second stage, which is the second responsibility we have. The third responsibility is taking guidance from the Holy Quran. Should I explain what it means to take Quran as a source of guidance? I mean, ask myself a question, or ask you, when last did you take Quran as a source of guidance in your life? If it has been long, then there's problem here. Because Quran talks to us always. We'll discuss it, inshallah. And then the last stage of the examination, implementing the teachings of the Quran. Sometimes I may take it as a guidance, but then I may not necessarily implement the teachings. So we'll look at how Quran itself and the traditions of Ahlul Bayt discuss these responsibilities that we have towards the Holy Quran. You know, as I said, my aim, brothers and sisters, is to rekindle that flame of love for Quran in the heart of each and every one of us who attends this majlis or watch this majlis online. This is the month of Quran. If there is one act of worship that I need to try as much as I can to undertake every single day and night of this month, is Quran. But if I cannot take Quran on board, then what it will mean is I'm losing and missing the essence of the holy month of Ramadan, and in general, missing the essence of Islam. So let's look at the first stage of the examination. Please, I beg you, pay attention to this. I'm going to take my time to unpack this for our consumption. Active recitation of the Holy Quran. So there are two forms of recitation: passive recitation and active recitation. What is passive recitation? Reciting Quran for the sake of reciting, ticking the boxes. Yes, you may get some reward. I will discuss tomorrow that topic. But I'm just reciting because people are sitting around Quran. Khani, let's all recite. If I don't do, they will ask me, why are you not there? Yes, you may get some reward, but that's passive. Oh no, opening Quran just to spend time, that is passive recitation of the Holy Quran. But we have what is called active recitation. And active recitation is very, very important, my dear brothers and sisters. The first tradition I would like to draw our attention to is the last tradition I concluded with my lecture last night. And this tradition is from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq salamullah alayh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. You know what Imam said beautifully? Inna al-Qur'ana ahdullahi ila khalqih فينبغي لامرئ مسلم أن ينظر إلى أحده ويقرأ في كل يوم 50 آية. Imam Jafar alayhi salam said, this Quran is Allah's covenant with his servants. It's ahad. It's a covenant between Allah and his servants. And then Imam said, it is then incumbent upon every Muslim to look at this covenant and recite 50 verses every day. In other words, as a true Muslim, you are expected every day to open Quran. If you spend a day without opening the Holy Quran, then one has not appreciated Quran being Allah's covenant. That's first riwayah. But now look at the second riwayah, very important riwayah, from Sayyidul Sajidin salamullah alayh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farlah. You know what Imam said? This now explains to us that active recitation. Imam said, Ayatul Qur'ani khaza'in. Beautiful. فَيَنْبَغِي لَكَ أَن تَنْظُرَ إِلَى مَا فِيهَا. One version of the tradition says, آيات القرآن خزائن فكلما فتحت خزينة ينبغي لك أن تنظر ما فيها. That the verses of the Holy Quran are treasures. Whenever these verses are opened, it is incumbent upon you to look at the meaning intended behind every treasure of it. Yani, when you open the Holy Quran, you don't just go through it like that. As you go through the verses, keep asking yourselves, what are the main meanings intended here by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? This is what they call Qira'atul Qur'ani Nadhra. Reciting Quran while you are looking closely to the verses of the Holy Quran. You don't recite it anyhow. This is Allah's book to us. So Sayyidul Sajidin is telling us, whenever this treasure is opened, make sure you try to understand the intended meaning behind these treasures. And hence you find Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, he said, Inna al-Qur'ana la yukra hadhrama walakin yurattal tartila. He said, this Quran, you do not recite in hurry. There are people when they recite Quran, you hardly hear the words of the Quran. Some even when they recite in Salah, they just quickly recite it and finish. You hardly hear the words. Imam Ja'far is teaching us, you cannot recite verses of the Holy Quran in a hurry. وَلَكِنْ يُرَتَّلْ تَرْتِيلًا. It should be recited in a thorough way of recitation. Don't recite verse of Quran like parrot. Anyone who recites like a parrot, it means passive recitation. And when you go to some of our mosques, if a person recites slowly, he's delaying everyone according to everybody. The one who recites very fast, everybody is attached to that person. This Imam Ja'far is teaching us simple teachings of Islam. La yukra'u hazarama. It cannot be recited hurriedly, quickly. It has to be recited properly. But now look at the tradition. Kindly pay attention to this tradition. Towards the end, our beloved Imam Ja'far said, فَإِذَا مَرَرْتَ بِآيَةٍ فِيهَا ذِكْرُ الْجَنَّةِ وَاسْأَلِ اللَّهَ الْجَنَّةِ. As you go about reciting the Holy Quran, when you come across a verse where heaven is being mentioned, stop there and ask Allah to bless you with heaven. Then he said, فَإِذَا مَرَرْتَ بِآيَةٍ فِيهَا ذِكْرُ النَّارِ Allahu Akbar فَكِفْ عِنْدَهَا وَتَتَعَوَّزْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ النَّارِ. And when you come across a verse where hellfire is being mentioned, stop there and seek Allah's refuge from hellfire. This is what we call active recitation. Because when you do active recitation, what happens? You get to engage with the verses of the Holy Quran. Whether I understand all the meanings or not, that's something else. But you will be able to pick up some words from the Holy Quran discussing about Jannah or about Nar. But now if I don't know how to recite this Quran properly, how on earth will I be able to establish active recitation? Look at some of our communities. Excuse me to say, Quranic recitation is pathetic. You agree with me? Pathetic. And this is the book. This is the guide. Sometimes you cry. Some we talk high philosophical issues. Sometimes I talk like that also myself. Whereas the basic understanding of the Holy Quran is not there. Some places you go madrasa, our children, simple Quranic recitation, a lot of mistakes. You come elders, simple surah to Yasin, people make a lot of mistakes. And that is why I'm discussing this topic. And it's so dear to me, this topic of Quran, wallah. That's what Imam tells us. Now come to the verses of the Holy Quran. Beautiful verses. Chapter Mohammed, verse 24. Allah makes it crystal clear. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Can't they reflect on the verse of the Holy Quran, or it is sealed and blocked in their hearts? Meaning when you recite, reflect on the verses. Even if you don't know any meaning, keep asking yourself, what is Allah's intention here? That will lead you to discussing it with someone who knows better than you, or that will lead you to going for some books that will help you to understand. Quran is asking us a question, my dear brothers and sisters. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. This is not talking about tafsir. It's talking just reflection, tadabbur. Why can't they reflect? Well, last you and your wife and your children sit and recite Quran in the house. Do you believe in Quran? Yes, I agree, we believe in it. When last did you do that? Okay, if you've not been doing that this month of Ramadan, have you done that? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. You go to Surah As-Sad, verse 29. Allah discusses this again. كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ إِلَيْكَ مُبَارَكًا لِيَتَدَبَّرَ آيَاتِهِ وَلِيَذَّكَّرُوا أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. He said this book is sent to you, it's a blessed book. For what? So that one reflect on the verses of this book. So when you open Quran and you begin to recite, keep reflecting. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Reflect. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Reflect. Not Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This passive recitation. Oh no, I'm reciting Quran. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق. Not حلق. Not علق. Not Bismillahir Rahmani. Ra. Mahani. We've got the capability to study, to learn. But why do we put effort in learning something, but when it comes to Quran, nobody seems to put effort? Quran, Allah says what? غَيْرُ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Not وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Not maghzubi. I know our tongue is like that, but we need to make effort to learn. The way Amirul Mu'mineen taught, the way the Holy Prophet taught. Iyaka, not iyaka. Iyaka na'budu. Ain. So these are very, very important. So anyone who recites like this, he has time to reflect on the verses of the Holy Quran. And it is not too late, my dear brothers and sisters. Now look at Mawlai Kainat, Imam Amir al-Mu'minin salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Another loud salawat inshallah. Allah, when I go through this tradition, it scares me. You know what Amir al-Mu'minin said? Allah, لا خير في قراءة ليس فيها تدبر. Amir al-Mu'minin said there is no khair and barakah in a recitation without reflection. No khair. And hence in one tradition he tells us, وَلَا يَكُنْ هَمُّ أَحْدِكُمْ آخِرِ سُورَةٍ. Your ambition and aim is not just to complete the chapter. It's to understand the meanings of the verses, even if they are less, that you manage to recite. It's not about completing the chapter. You go to places in the holy month of Ramadan, the aim is just to complete everything. So at the end of the Ramadan, people said, we've ticked all these boxes of completing. But has Quran affected you in a positive way or not? This Amir al-Mu'minin telling us, your hum, your gum should not be to complete everything. If you are to divide a chapter for throughout the Ramadan, it's better. It's better. We can say the same thing when it comes to dua, but I'm discussing Quran. Recitation of dua is to appeal to my heart, is to change my life. But if I'm reciting just for the sake of completing it, ticking the boxes. So tadabbur, my dear brothers and sisters, is a condition for active recitation of the Holy Quran. Some may ask a question, but Sheikh, this tadabbur is difficult. I cannot do tadabbur. I don't have any knowledge of Islam. I said, no. Tadabbur is for everyone. What you cannot do is the tafsir. What you cannot do is the ta'wil. What you cannot do is the istibtan of Quran. I will discuss this all inshallah in the coming night. But tadabbur, you can do tadabbur, I can do tadabbur based on my capability. Simplest way of doing tadabbur is what? When I go through these verses, what lesson or lessons can I extract from this verse by my understanding? And that is why our beloved Imam Ja'far, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. You know interestingly what Imam Ja'far said? Imam Ja'far said, Allah will never speak to his servant with what they do not understand and comprehend. I mean, it is the book of Allah. You make effort for other document for your understanding. Why can't I make extra effort when it comes to the book of Allah? So Imam Jabir salamullah alayhi saying, if you think that tadabbur is very difficult, it's not. Allah always addresses his servant with what is within their capability to understand. Very, very important. And the ayah I quoted right from the beginning, Quran 54 verse 70. وَلَكَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Indeed, we made this one easy for remembrance, Sayyidina. Is there anyone who will remember? Where is the difficulty in Quran? It's just a mindset some of us build that is very difficult. I cannot recite it this way. I cannot You cannot have an Islamic organization or community without Quran classes. That is number one, topmost priority. If there is no Quran, then Habibi, what else? Tell me, really tell me. As I said, we'll discuss Ahlul Bayt relationship with the Quran. All the Panjitan Park will discuss each one of them's relationship. And you will see how our beloved Imams dedicated and devoted their times for Quran. And what they expect from their lovers and followers when it comes to their relationship with the Holy Quran. So Quran is asking us a question. It's easy to be remembered. Why can't you remember? Yes, our reflections may be of different levels depending on our understandings and how much we've read. But otherwise, Quran is for everyone. One ayah will say, Hudan linnas is guidance for people. One ayah will say, Bayanul linnas is an explanation for people. Sometimes you find ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Sometimes, Ya ayyuhan nasu. So Quran is of different levels. Whoever goes to Quran will not go away empty. So understand this. Our first responsibility is what? Active recitation. Don't forget that. Let's go to the second responsibility. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Making the Holy Quran the topmost priority in our lives. You can ask yourself that simple question. Is Quran priority in your life? I don't know. And you know what it means to make something priority. If you make something priority in your life, you will be with it always. You find some people, they have even small Quran here in their pocket. When they go to work, they open. Every free time they have, they open. That's our second responsibilities. And I will give you, inshallah, proofs from Ahlul Bayt in this regard. The first tradition when it comes to making Quran topmost priority in our lives is tradition from Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. This tradition we quoted on the first night. That Imam Rida alayhi salam used to complete the entire Quran every 3 days. And then he said to his companions, if I will and wish, I will complete Quran in less than 3 days. But the reason as to why I complete within 3 days is because I stop at every ayah to ask myself a question. When was it revealed? How was it revealed? And where was it revealed? That is a reflection. That is what? Paying special attention to Quran. So every 3 days, Ali ibn Musa Rida salamullah alayh will complete the entire Quran. That's Imam al-Rida. This is my Imam, this is your Imam. He made Quran topmost priority. And every 3 days of his life, he would complete the Quran. Now look at this tradition from Mawlai Kainat. Where Amir Mu'min said, Allah, Allah, fi kitabillah, la yasbikum bil amali bihi ghayrukum. Allahu Akbar. Imam Ali said, by Allah, don't forget the book of Allah. And don't, under any circumstance, let anyone surpass you when it comes to abiding by the book of Allah. Shia, how is your Quran? You Shia? Really? How's your Quran? Amir Mu'minin, my father is telling us, don't let any other group, if you like, be in front of you when it comes to paying attention to the Holy Quran. And the last tradition on priority is that of our beloved Prophet. It's a non-tradition to all of us. And one night I will expound on this tradition properly, inshallah. Inni tarikum fikum al-thaqalayn. Let's go to the longer version of the tradition. I leave 2 weighty things for you. Ahaduhuma a'zamu min al-akhar. One of them is greater than the other. There is a Kitabullah. Hablum mamdud min as-sama'i ila al-ard. It's a book of Allah. It's a rope stretching from heaven to the earth. Then he said, wa itrati ahla bayti. And my household. But look at the end, what Prophet said. After saying, لَن يَفْتَرِكَ حَتَّى يَرِدَ عَلِيَ الْحَوْض, the two will never separate. You know what he said? فَانْظُرُوا كَيْفَ تَخْلِفُونِي فِيهِمَا. Look at how you will show your love to me in these two. In Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Very important tradition. Some of us, we spend money in the cause of Ahlul Bayt, but in the cause of Quran, we spend less. And Ahlul Bayt are equals to Quran, Habibi. We've got Quran Jamid, we have Quran Natiq. We've got the solid Quran, we've got the speaking Quran. We've got the solid Quran, we have the walking Quran. Bintul Fidda, because of the love of Quran in that house, became Muallimatul Quran. She became the teacher of the Holy Quran. It's very, very important. The day of Ghadir is the celebration of the preservation and the protection of the Holy Quran. So that's our second responsibility. Make Quran, please, brothers and sisters, don't make this a talk show. Quality for me is important during these first 15 nights. And wherever I go Ramadan, that's how I do. I love quality. And I can confidently say the past 2 nights I've been here, some mu'minin reached out to me on how to connect with Quran, and that made me really happy. Wallah, some reached out. Good number. Take this thing seriously. If you already have a relation with the Quran, take it to the next level. If you don't have, begin now, it's not too late. So that your children will grow learning Quran. Look at the recitation some of people in our communities. I'm not saying all. Really look at it, you tell me. If Imam Mahdi comes here and he asks people to recite Quran, what will happen? Just ask yourself this simple question. So take this thing something positive to build your love for Quran, especially in the holy months. Our third responsibility is to take the Holy Quran as a source of hidayah, source of guidance. Yes, it's easy for me to say Quran is a book of guidance. But do you and I take Quran as the main source of guidance? Because Quran came here to help me on how to govern my life. I mean, Quran is too deep, wallahi. Quran is very deep. When Mawlai Kainat would tell us, for every ayah, there is 7 inner parts. For each inner part, there are other 7 inner parts. It's a deep ocean. And I and you need to ask ourselves, this big, deep ocean, what is it that I can do to take something out of it? Because no one goes to Quran and go empty. It's impossible. So let's try. I know we are all busy, but 5-10 minutes every day will not destroy your life. Anyone who makes it priority, wallahi, that person will spend time for Quran, regardless of how busy one is. This is a book of guidance, and I'm going to share a few verses with you. And as I said, try to reflect on these verses I'm sharing, because Ramadan is the month of Quran. We have to discuss Quran. Only for me is Quran. It's an opportunity given to us by Allah to refresh our mind and to rebuild our relationship with the Holy Quran, so that in return we connect with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Look at this ayah. It talks about Quran as a source of guidance. Chapter 2, verse 2. Alif Lam Mim, dhalika al-kitab la rayba fi hudan lil muttaqin. It's guidance for the muttaqin, for the pious ones. That's one ayah inviting you, if you want to build the taqwa, Quran. You cannot build taqwa without Quran. Look at the second ayah. Very beautiful ayah. Chapter 17, verse 9, Surah Al-Isra. إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين بأن لهم أجرا كبيرا. That this Quran guide to which is upright. يهدي للتي هي أقوم. It guide to which is upright. Unless if you don't consider it as a book of guidance, it's a book just to design your shelf and your house. But Quran is telling us, يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين أن لهم جنات تجري. One ayah. They've got Jannah. Beneath it river flows. The third ayah, look at the third ayah. The one we quoted the first night. Quran 2 verse 185. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس. This book was revealed in this month. We discussed it. But the next line is guidance for mankind. Guidance for people. Quran guide. It's not a book for the sake of being a book. It's to guide I and you. It's to ensure our family is successful. It's to ensure I as an individual is successful. It's to ensure our communities are successful. It's to ensure that we remain conscious and accountable of whatever we do in life. That's the purpose of Quran. So a document with such a purpose cannot be left for a day without being opened. It's very important. You look at Surah An-Naml, verse number 1. Hudan wa bushra lil mu'minin. It's guidance and a good news for the believers. Am I a believer? Yes, I'm a believer. What's my relationship with the Holy Quran? Now, why do we need Quranic guidance, brothers? Because that's, as I said, is the third responsibility. We have guidance. We need Quranic guidance, number one. There are two reasons, main. Because of the way we are made. You know, we are made of different faculties, as you know. You have a faculty of desire. You have faculty of anger. You have faculty of imagination. You have faculty of intellect. Now, faculty of desire may overpower you. Faculty of anger may overpower you. Faculty of imagination may overpower you. And hence, I need divine guidance so that I'm able to create balance between these faculties. Man-made guidance may be there, but the most authentic is divine guidance. And that divine guidance culminated in the Holy Quran. The second reason as to why I need Quranic guidance is because of the type of world we live in. There are so many challenges left and right. Our youth, do they know Quran? Our fathers, our mothers, our uncles, do they know Quran? Quran is rich. Quran is powerful. Quran is beyond my time and your time. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala reveals everything in the Holy Quran. I need that guidance on a second level because I'm exposed to different challenges in life. So I need something to hold my hand. And the best thing to hold my hand is Quran. Now, how do I take guidance from the Quran? Kindly pay attention to this. Number one, brothers and sisters, if I am determined to take guidance from the Holy Quran, Allahu Akbar. Whenever I take Quran and I start to recite, I should have this mindset, the one and only mindset, that This is the book of Allah talking to me. I must have this mindset. Somebody prominent comes and give you a document to read. You will take it seriously, isn't it? Your boss at work gives you a document. He said, read this, I will need it for work. You will take it serious. Because you see the benefits. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu's book. Anyone who's determined for Quranic guidance, whenever he opens or recites Quran, he or she doesn't forget the fact that this is the book of Allah. And that is why Imam Jafar Salamullah alayhi tells us in a beautiful tradition, salawat. That تجلى لخلقه في كتابه أو في كلامه وانبشر ولكنهم لا يبصرون. He said Allah manifests to his servant in the Quran. Each verse of the Quran is Allah's manifestations. But yes, they may not see. So when you read or you recite a verse, it is Allah now talking to you direct. He is talking to you direct. So that's the first mindset. Second mindset, my dear brothers and sisters, if you truly want to take Quranic guidance, is that focus on each and every verse. I will give you an exercise to do like last night. Focus on each and every verse. I have no doubt in my mind, anyone who focuses properly on each and every verse, the verse will touch his or her heart. So don't get confused. Guidance, 1, remember, is the book of Allah. 2, focus on each and every verse. Now I'm going to give you 2 examples. One example from the Holy Prophet, and one example from Amir al-Mu'minin. And I will ask you to open the verses. The first one is the Holy Prophet. You know, Prophet said to Ibn Abbas, look at this, brothers and sisters. I want you to recite Quran for me. So Ibn Abbas said to the Holy Prophet, but Quran was sent to you. Why should I recite for you? It was sent to you. Then Prophet said, yes, but recite for me. Ibn Abbas began to recite. Then he was reciting Surah An-Nisa, verse 41. I want you to open verse 41, all of you. I said last night, come with Quranic app or you take Quran copy. You open verse 41 of Surah An-Nisa, Surah number 4. Please open. We are learning. 41. When you have it, just read it. That's it, between you and Allah, and then I will ask a question. Yeah, Asantum, that's the verse. If you can pass the mic, if you can hold the mic, because if anyone who's going to recite, I will ask him to use the mic. Set, okay. Kindly pay attention. We are in the month of Quran. I want you to enjoy Quran. And we'll do more of this in the coming night, but I want you to enjoy Quran. You see, Ibn Mas'ud rather, not Ibn Abbas, Ibn Mas'ud recited. And when he got to verse 41, after reciting, Prophet cried. Can any one of you recite the Arabic for me? Who can recite the Arabic for me? Okay, give to Doc, inshallah. Bismillah, Doc. Yeah? Yeah. No, not Yom Izim, Fakaifa. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Naam.
فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد على هؤلاء شهيدا.
Ahsantum. Jazakallah khair, dog. Now let's stop there. And then I will come, somebody will do the English for me, I will ask. Ibn Mas'ud, upon the request of the Holy Prophet, recited chapter Nisa. And when he got to this verse, after reciting this verse, the Holy Prophet cried a lot. He cried. Now I have a question for all of you. That's why I want you to pay attention. Like the way Doc recited. Ibn Abbas, Ibn Mas'ud recited. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد وجئنا بك على هؤلاء شهيدا. Prophet cried. Now someone should read the English for me. I need the English. Give him the mic because people are online.
When we bring from every people a witness and bring you as a witness against thee.
Ahsantum. Look at the ayah. Can you repeat it again, Dilshad uncle?
How will it be then when we bring from every people a witness and bring you as a witness against these?
Fantastic. Now, I want us all to do reflection on this verse. If I ask you to do reflection on this verse, who can start the reflection for me? Reflection simply means what lesson do you get out of this verse? Prophet cried when this verse was recited. He cried. Can anyone help me? What lesson or lessons do we get from this verse? It's reflection. What you get as a lesson. Can I bring the mic here quickly so we don't disrupt the flow of the lecture? I'm almost done.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. As mentioned last
night. Give me one lesson, yeah?
As mentioned last night, the Prophet will complain. So the lesson would be, if the Prophet becomes a witness and we didn't really obey any of the ahkam.
Subhanallah.
So that would be,
Ahsant.
At that time, the people asking shouldn't even become alive or be like.
Jazakallah khair. I mean, I love it, the way he connected it with what we discussed last night. So if you look at the last part of the verse, وَجِئِنَا بِكَ عَلَى هَؤُلَاءِ شَهِيدًا. Prophet will witness over all our actions. Last night we discussed Prophet will complain to Allah how we abandon the Quran. So we pray when he witnesses over our actions, he's not complaining about us abandoning the Holy Quran. That's one lesson. Excellent lesson. That's reflection. That's what we call reflection. It's not tafsir. We call reflection. But sometimes reflection may match with tafsir. Please, someone else tell me what lesson do you get out of this verse? Quickly. Give him. Give my friend. Quickly. Then we move forward quickly. Well,
what I see from there, when they start from every nation which shall bring a witness, is that from the nations like Prophet Ibrahim, Isa al-Islam, there will be a witness of regarding them upon their
Ahsan, Jazakallah khair. One ayah says, يَوْمَ نَدْعُ كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. There's a day when we invite every nation with their leader. Some scholars said leader means every prophet will come with his leader. We will come with our beloved Prophet Muhammad. So those ummah, their leaders will witness over their actions. And who will witness over your action? My beloved Prophet. It's very important ayah. For me also, when I look at this ayah, when I reflect on this ayah, the first lesson that comes to me is what? The lesson of Qiyamah.
what day that will be.
What day that will be? Ahsantum Sayyidina. Qiyamah. This is going to be on the day of Qiyamah. After we are done with all our actions, there is no return anymore to correct something, to rectify anything. And Prophet will then come and witness to say, MashaAllah good, MashaAllah good, MashaAllah good. So that's how we do reflection. You open Quran in your house, you ask yourself, what lesson do I get out of this verse? Before we go to tafsir of the verse. So Prophet cried. The second one I would like to introduce you to. You know, we discussed in taking guidance from the Holy Quran. Second one, I said focus on the verses. Amir al-Mu'mineen asked one of his companions, Zarr ibn Qubaysh, to recite Quran. Well, narration says he recited the entire Quran, of course within different space of time, and Amir al-Mu'mineen heard everything he recited. But when he go to chapter Shura, verse 22, Imam Ali cried. Open chapter Shura 22 for me. Open Shura 22, please. Shura 42. Surah 42. Verse 22. Verse 22. Surah Shura. Yeah. You've seen that. What do you get out of that ayah? Tara al-Zalimin. He recited the ayah. Imam Ali cried. He said you could hear the voice of Imam Ali crying from the mosque of Kufa. I want someone to recite the Arabic for me. Any person? Give Sayyid. We're almost done, inshallah. If you are tired, you tell me, we stop, we do tomorrow. Are you tired? No, seriously, no taqiyya. Okay. Salawat. We're almost done.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الظالمين مشفقين مما كسبوا وهو واقع بهم والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات في روضات الجنات لهم ما يشاءون عند ربهم ذلك هو
الفضل الكبير. أحسنتم. Excellent. Who can recite the Arabic, the English for me? Excellent recitation. English. Who is volunteering to recite? Bismillah.
Fearful of what they have earned. It will befall them, and those who have believed and done righteous deeds will be lush regions of the garden in paradise, having whatever they will in the presence of their Lord. That is what is a great bounty.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. Appreciate it. Now, who can reflect on this verse for me? What lesson do we get out of this verse? Anyone to start? Quickly. What lesson do we get? ترى الظالمين مشفقين مما كسبوا وهو واقع بهم. Give him the young, mashallah, youth, mashallah, very good. What lesson do we get?
It highlights that the wrongdoers will face fear and the consequences of their actions, while the believers who have done righteous deeds will be rewarded in paradise.
Fantastic. So that's the first lesson. Wrongdoers will receive and will experience the repercussion of their wrongdoings. And good doers, the believers, will be rewarded also. That's excellent. Any other lesson we learn from this ayah? Quickly and then we're done. Any other lesson?
Wrongdoers will be fearful of their own actions that they have done.
Absolutely, on the day of Qiyamah. On the day of Qiyamah, when they see the reality of their actions, they will be fearful. They will be ashamed of their actions. Again, this ayah is discussing the day of Qiyamah, like that ayah in the case of our beloved Prophet. So you see, Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayh, on account of focusing on each and every verse, you will see tears overflowing from their eyes. So that's our third responsibility towards the Holy Quran. And the last one is a very simple one. Seeking to implement the teachings of the Holy Quran. So when I finish, I will ask you the 4 responsibilities I mentioned. So remember that I'm going to ask you before you ask me your questions. Last responsibility, seeking to implement. You know, the Holy Prophet said, anyone who recites Quran and that person is not changed, he has not recited Quran. Allahu Akbar. Mahdi, you understand? Anyone who recites Quran and there's no change in his life, then I think you are wasting your time. And then Prophet said, there are some who recite Quran and Quran curses them. Allahu Akbar. May Allah forgive us, inshallah. Who does the Quran curses? The one who recites and Quran is not seen in his life. You recite Quran, you bankrupt in your akhlaq. You are crook. You recite Quran, you don't respect, you don't honor people. You recite Quran, you misbehave. It means Quran has not changed you. It means you are not reciting it according to Prophet. So therefore, in conclusion, brothers and sisters, let us appreciate our duties towards the Holy Quran and play our part, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad. So now I'm going to ask my question and then you ask me your questions and then we make a dua, inshallah. So I mentioned 4 duties we have towards the Holy Quran. What's the first duty? If you know, just raise up your hand. What's the first duty? Okay, Sayyid here.
Make Quran priority.
Ahsantum. Make Quran a topmost priority in your life. That's number 1. Number 2, give him. Ahsantum, active recitation. What is active recitation? Give him. Pondering on the verses. Ahsantum, jazakallah khair. That's number 2. Number 3, give a dog. Number 3, guidance. Ahsantum, take Quran as a source of guidance. Now, question I have for doctor. Why do we need Quranic guidance?
So that we can implement it in...
No, that is there, but I mentioned 2 reasons why we need Quranic guidance. The first one, you can check your notes, no worry.
The book of Allah is talking to you and focus on the... to remember that it is the book of Allah that is talking to you and to focus on each and every verse of the Quran.
Absolutely. So that's very, very important. Excellent. Last duty we have towards Quran. Who can tell me the last one? Implementation of the verses of the Holy Quran. Because if I do not implement, regardless of how much I recite, Prophet said, I have not recited the Holy Quran. So therefore, please, brothers and sisters, I know you are trying your level best, but try. It is an individual journey. Shahr Ramadan is not a collective journey. I'm telling you. It is an individual journey. You need to begin your Quranic journey and build your relationship with Quran, you as an individual. Now, if you as an individual try, and you as an individual try, if you are in one family, then we'll all help each other when it comes to Quran. And when we come to the community, mashallah, our community will flourish through the barakat and the teachings of the Holy Quran. So try, inshallah. If you have not started, start from tonight. Now it's time for your questions, inshallah.